started taking Plexus. And that's not what my goal was. I wasn't trying to fix my plantar fasciitis. I was trying to lose some baby weight. But guess what? That alpha lipoic acid in the Slim is what did it. And so that helps so much. And that's something that I can tell people about the Slim. But that's, y'all know that's only one great feature of that product, right? So you need to know something great about every single product. And then you don't need to be an expert on everything. And you can always tell somebody, let me find out if they have a question on a specific thing. Okay. Let's see. You also need to know several testimonies by heart. And at this point, I'm sure y'all have seen all the Diamond testimonies or Diamond documentaries. Those are great because there's all walks of life in those. If you need a story about a single mom or about somebody that was, had been homeless before, or, had really had no, had really struggled financially or struggled really bad with their health, there are Diamond documentaries on all those things. There's also testimonies out there on those things. So if you can just know a couple by heart, when you're talking to somebody, that will give you give instant belief as well. We're back to belief and being bold. I don't want you to don't base your choices on emotion. Okay. This is huge. Do not base your choices on emotion. We have, the back office right now. I get it. Let me tell you, the last 3 months as a Diamond Ambassador with a team of over 15,000 people, I hear you when, we're having some struggles. Has my belief faltered? No way. You know why? Because that's my decision. That's my choice. I'm not going to let our back office derail my belief, because I know this is a stepping stone for us. This is also what we call growing pains, because our company is growing by leaps and bounds. Y'all want to see what I got in the mail today? Can you see it? Okay. This is an invitation to our grand opening ribbon cutting for our new 75,000 square foot home office. Okay. And the reason why we're having this is because we have grown so much in the last couple of years. They are preparing for us to grow even more. They're preparing for us to become $1 billion company. And we couldn't do that in our old facility. We couldn't do that with our old back office. We couldn't do that with our old shipping system. And so they are spending a fortune, and they're getting us ready to become this huge company that we want to be. And we're on the ground floor, y'all. This is still ground floor. And every one of you has a chance to get to the top. There's no limit, which is awesome. Let's see. I just have a couple more things I wanted to go over with you about your choices on emotion and deciding to be successful no matter what. Don't let the back office derail you. If your team is dwindling, if your team is, has issues, do not let that derail you. Think of it as a growing pain and a stumbling block. Have y'all heard of Eric Worre and GoPro, that book? I'm sure you all have, especially if you're on my team. I know you've heard that book. Okay, so my first leaders retreat, he was there, and he taught me all about network marketing. I think I have that book over here somewhere. Anyway, he, because I do have a marketing degree, but 20 years ago, we did not learn about network marketing. And I love what he taught us about it, and how, he himself restarted his business 7 times. He never let the fact that, his whole team dwindled derail him from starting again. He knew he was going to be successful, and he never faltered on that. So decide that you're going to be successful. Decide to not base your choices on emotion. It's all in perspective. If your team is whining and doubting and complaining all the time and being negative, I want you to look in the mirror. And are you acting that way to your team? Are you having negativity and doubt? Are you, maybe sharing a little too much with some of the people on your team? Don't do that, okay? Never, ever, ever complain or be negative to somebody in your downline, only to your upline, okay? Does that make sense? So if you have anything at all that you have negativity in your head or doubt, get it out of your system by talking to your upline, but never, ever, ever to your downline. And y'all are all leaders on here, so I know you've all got a downline, so that needs to be at the top of your list of things that you need to remember. Okay, so is your glass half empty or half full? It's all in perspective, right? So I get it. The back office has been hard. About half the people that I've brought on have gotten their welcome kits. About half of my new customers have gotten their products. But it's okay. I warned them. I said, listen, y'all, we are growing so fast. We're an amazing company that we're having some growing pains, but guess what? Our company is gearing up to help us to become $1 billion company. So we have all these new systems in place, and there's still some kinks to work out. So I'm just telling you right now, things may not go perfect. And with my 2 new ambassadors from late December that just joined, they can't figure out they can't get their what's it called, their bank stuff, what's it called, Paylution or whatever it is. They can't get all that worked out. And I'm like, listen, and they're fine with it. They're like, it's okay, we'll figure it out later. And you warned us that things weren't going to be perfect. And I said, and then the whole messaging system, it said that they had 3 messages. She goes, there's no messages there. I'm like, that's part of the kinks. Don't worry about that. It'll come later. Don't worry about those messages. You'll get them in emails. Oh, okay. But they're not negative. They're not thinking something's wrong because I set the stage, right? I set the stage for what they should expect. Be bold. Act like you are already in the position that you want to be in. What position are you trying to get to? Are you trying to get to senior gold, or are you trying to get to emerald? Whatever it is that you're trying to get to, I want you to act like you're already there. So dress for success. Act like you know what's going on. Be bold. Don't be afraid to approach people and tell them all about what you have going on. So really, that's it. That's my talk. But believe in yourself, and your choices are hugely important in whether or not you're successful. Just believe you're going to be successful, and you will be.
Wow. Thank you, Alicia. That was amazing. I love it because so good. Thank you. I appreciate you and your time. So awesome. Well, where's my other leaders? Do we have anything else we need to say, or anybody have a question, or?
I have questions. I want to learn from Alicia.
Hi, sweet friend.
Hi, sweet friend. You look so pretty.
Oh,
you're so cute. And congratulations on the double ranking to silver. That's huge.
Oh, thank you.
Diamond silver in the house. Is there a delay, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so I would love to know what your process is for bringing new ambassadors on, because I feel like a lot of people do different things. And I also feel like we can easily overcomplicate things because there's so much that we want them to know. And so I've tried okay, this is what you do in your first 2 weeks. This is what you do in your first 4 weeks. But I feel like I've lost people that I brought on and really passionate and excited, and they're kind of like, yeah, that's a little much. And I'm like, okay. And then the people that are passionate and excited to make sure that they get the information they need. I need help with onboarding. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I love that word, onboarding. That's a good word. Here's your phone. Okay, so when and I'm going through this right now because I've got actually 3 newbies that I'm trying to get up and going. Actually 4, but one of them just took a new job, so she's pretty much off the map. But I hear you, because it's hard, because everything that I used to do is kind of old news now, and I feel like we're all having to revamp the wheel kind of thing. We're actually having a Jules training in February, and I'm very excited about it because we're all going to try to get on the same page. And this is, I think, one of the areas that we're going to talk about. And whatever we learn there, believe me, we'll pass down. But I would love that. I would love if we had a corporate way of training. I'm pretty much a one-on-one girl when it comes to new ambassadors. I find out what they're looking for because, I do have people that come on board as a wholesaler, and there's nothing wrong with that. We don't need wholesalers, but it's okay that they are wholesalers. We just need to make sure that they understand they still need to have their backup order on, right? And what that means, whether they need to place their own order or depend on their backup order, whatever it is they want to do, give them that option. Which is better for you? Do you want to not think about it every month, or do you want to place your own order if you're going to be a wholesaler? And ask them questions, leave it in their their lap. Okay, and then other thing, and I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, so another thing I ask is, do they want to grow a business? Because here's the other thing. I have a girl that joined my team that she was going to join a year ago. Her husband said absolutely no. I'm like, okay. I still included her in all my meetings. She never came. I included her in on Facebook things. She never showed up. But that sale in December, she's like, okay, I'm ready. I'm like, what? Wait, okay. And so then I had no idea. Did she want to do wholesale? Does she want to grow a business? Oh, no, she wants to grow a business. Oh, okay. I mean, you don't know until you ask. Don't ever assume, but also don't assume somebody wants to grow the business if they don't, because that could overwhelm them. When I first started, I didn't want to grow a business. I didn't have time. I had a new baby and 3 other girls, and there was no way. I was like, there was no way I would have time to do this, right? But I had to go in and see that I loved it and how easy it was to share, and never say sell, always say share, because the sell thing scares people off. But it's easy to share because we share our favorite restaurant, our favorite mascara all the time. So anyway, find out what they're looking for, and then you can have a better idea on how to steer them. But you don't want to have a wholesaler make their list of 100 and all this. They're not going to do it. They're going to ignore you, and then they're going to avoid you when you see them at a party. So find out their goal, and then you be the leader that they need you to be. Make sense?
Yeah, totally. I think that finding out goals is important so you're on the same page. Otherwise, you could be saying like, okay, let's go to Hawaii. They're like, yeah, I just want my products for free. I went to Hawaii last month because that happened.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, oh, so going to Hawaii is not that big of a deal to you? Okay, cool. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, especially like where we live, a lot of people have a Lexus and go to Hawaii. It's like, what's their purpose? And then some of them just sign up because they actually just want to help people, and it's not the financial, you know?
Right.
But yeah, I think we do need a corporate something. I hope that we have that, because it's one of those things like you can end up just kind of like constantly kind of sharing the same information. But we have a pinned post, and I always suggest that people put like a manual of like information and product information and videos and stuff like that. So I've been doing that, but that's really good advice. Thank you. And
guess what? If y'all are going to Super Saturday, do y'all realize the whole Super Saturday is on our new welcome kit? It's training for our welcome kit.
And are we still getting a new welcome kit if we go, like they said at Leaders Retreat?
Yes.
Yay, I'm so excited about that.
I don't know. They told us that I don't know if it's going to be ready. If it's not ready, you'll get it like in the mail later.
Right.
But if it is ready, you'll get it there.
Yay.
But yeah, the whole training is pretty much on the welcome kit. There's a whole lot of information in there. So I think that might answer your question, actually.
Right.
So hopefully.
Okay, so like the welcome kit might be gearing us there. Awesome. Thank you, Levy.
We had a call on the senior. We had a senior Rubies group or whatever, and one of the girls, that was what her whole thing was. I can't remember what it was, but she basically said this is what she does with all her newbies, and it was so good. Like I wrote it down, and then I did a call with my team and the same exact thing. And one of the first things she does is, she calls and congratulates them right away, when she gets that email. And then they set up a time immediately to go over the welcome pack. And it was funny because it was a call with a bunch of senior Rubies. And I was the first one to admit that I don't know that I've even looked at my welcome pack, sadly enough. And I was like, oh my goodness, there's tons of really great information here. And we just kind of like threw that in the pile somewhere and looked elsewhere. But she said what she did is she just literally goes through the welcome pack with them, and there's amazing information right there. So I think that might be the missing link. So I'm glad they're doing that for Super Saturday.
Yeah, and I think they're doing the packaging so that people don't want to throw it out too, right, Alicia? Right.
Yeah, it's our starter kit. And I tell you, I mean, I have 3 now because I have a business, my husband has one, and then I've re-entered I Love Your Nails too. I've got 2 of them that are still in the cellophane because it's, it's dated. It's, nobody wants, it's like got the flip chart where you'd sit in front of somebody, and my first one does. It had the little, I'm like, oh my, we don't do that. Nobody wants to sit and do a flip chart. So anyway, I think they get it. And that's why we're going to have this new great welcome kit. So
that's awesome.
Very good. Say that. Say what? Casey was like, what'd they say? I'm like, you watched the call.
All right. Well, any other of the girls have something they need to share? No. All right. Well, Alicia, thank you so much for taking your time with a team of 15,000. I know this is, it's such an honor to have you.
Thanks
for having me. Say something? No?
I am, Amy. Right here, okay. Jody. I think I'm the only Jody on here, even though we have 3 Jodys on this large team, if you can believe that. I think that's kind of wild and wicked. Anyhow, I'm just going to say, or ask just one quick question. I know that basically I have been a silver for over a year, about a year now, and I'm completely fine with that. I'm grateful actually that I didn't zoom to the top because I did not have a clue what the world I was doing, and I don't think I would have been a very big help to anybody. So I'm okay with that, and I'm fine with that. But I would say, what is the one thing that you would tell your team leaders who are trying to build their team, not necessarily gain more level ones, but to actually help build their team that may or may not be on board specifically, but they're hesitant to kind of be on board, even though they kind of want to be on board, but you're not really sure how to get them on board because you have that belief, but they may not have that belief yet, even if they're by level 2 or 3. What do you have to say about that, Alicia? Thank you.
Well, I think that if you can get them to events where they can actually see testimonies, that builds huge belief. That helped me a lot in the beginning, and even still, if I see somebody is having a meeting that's close to me, and people are like, "You're a diamond, why are you still going to meet, other people's meetings?" I'm like, because I learned something at every single one, and the testimonies they draw me in. I usually end up in tears, and I just, but I love it. I love the testimonies, and I would go to a new, somebody's meeting every week if I could. I mean, if there were, meetings around. So just encourage them. If there's any meeting that's close to them, make an effort to go, because hearing real people tell you how their lives are changed, how they're walking again, how they're, they're out of pain, how they're, finally losing weight, whatever it is, it touches your heart and it helps to build your belief. So you can't make somebody believe when they don't want to make any effort. You're going to have people like that on your team. And I'll tell you, one of the secrets to me growing so fast was that I grew really, really wide. So I added a lot of level 1s. It's a numbers game. And you'll learn that if you're learning about network marketing, you're going to learn that it's a numbers game. And you're not going to be able to count on your first 2 or 3 people that you bring on your team to be rock stars. You're going to have to bring on like 20 to have 2 or 3 rock stars. Okay, do you see what I'm saying? So maybe not even that. I think I forgot what he says. It's like after a year, 12 people, after a year, you might have 1 still really working, something like that. So after 2 years, if you have 20, you might have 2, I don't know, but it's not a huge amount. So you really have to keep growing your, there you go. What is it? 28 for, okay, you're going to explain that a little bit more, but I remember what you're saying. I can't remember it exactly, but it's a lot. You have to add a lot to have the growth that you're wanting. And you also have to be consistent. Here's the other deal. So when I joined under Beth was not the first person that told me about Plexus. 9 months earlier, another girl posted about Plexus, and I asked her about it, and she just said, go to my website, and she gave me her website. She didn't give me any information. She never followed up. She never said, hey, Alicia, did you ever look at my website? She never said, hey, did you know that you could do this while nursing? Because I was nursing at the time. None of that. And I thought, well, I'm nursing. I'll ask her about it later. And I forgot about it. She stopped posting, and she started posting about some t-shirt business she was doing. And so 9 months later, when my friend Beth posted, it was familiar to me, okay, because my other friend had laid the groundwork for her. And so, see, I've got a second friend tell me about it, so I had more belief in my second friend tell me about it. So whose team did I join? And guess what? That first friend was still an ambassador. Do you think that she missed out on having me on her team? Somebody that turned diamond in 10 months? Maybe she might be a little mad at herself for not following up with me. I'm just saying. So you're telling everybody, by not posting every day, by not being passionate, by not being consistent, whether or not you're saying those words, you are telling your friends, I do not believe anymore. I'm not 100% Plexus anymore. This is not what I'm doing anymore. You don't have to say those words. By not saying those words, that's what you're saying. So a huge, huge, huge part of my success is there has not been a day that I've not posted about Plexus. Now, I will post something like, I don't know, my tennis shoes or, something random and say, I'm so glad that I can, bought new tennis shoes today because I have the energy, to exercise. Or something like, it doesn't even have to be about the products. It can be about what Plexus has done for you personally, and that gets more interest. So you want to make sure that your posts are personal, engaging, hashtags are fun, and then hashtags are usually like what you are really wanting to say. That's how I use them anyway, and it works. So I hope that answered your question a little bit, but really you just want to be consistent because you never know, and you want to grow wide. I mean, I think I was adding like between 7 and 10, 15, something like that every month. I went, I didn't just go silver every month. That's my goal now. But when I was first starting, I was adding a lot every single month. And so I think when I went gold, I had 55 on my team. I didn't have 20, I had 55. So that tells you, how fast it was going in the beginning and how many I added to get to where I got. So give everybody the opportunity. Don't say, hey, you can be a customer. You can be, if you spell it out. Do y'all have these? I talk about this all the time with my team, these catalogs. They're amazing because they talk about, or they break down every product with 3 different price points. Do you see that? And so you can easily sit with somebody at lunch or at a coffee or whatever, and you can talk about, you can buy this for $39.95 retail for this Ease cream. You can get it, it's like me giving you a coupon. You can get it for preferred at $32.95, but the best deal is $24.95 a month. If you're going to use this Ease cream every month for your arthritis for 6 months, let's add up how much you would save if you were to be an ambassador versus being a retail customer. It's a no-brainer, right? It's just better to be a ambassador price-wise. I'm a bargain shopper. I got to give you the best price. So that's how I work. But anyway, give everybody the opportunity. If they decide not to do it, they decide not to do it. But you never know. They may have a friend that decides to do it and takes off, right?
Yep.
And then you might have a level 2 rock star on your team, which guess what? They give you a lot of points just like your level 1s do.
Definitely. Alicia, one thing I want to say to you, I remember, again, I think you turned diamond the day I joined. So I decided to plug into your page, and I just would read your files a bit. So when I found your growth chart, again, I didn't have any clue. I've never done anything like this. So I averaged your thing. I was like, okay, July was a great month, but I think 7, that was my number. So even though I didn't quite have the, I didn't turn diamond in 10 months, but I still feel like that really set the bar for me. And I personally did add 7 to 10 as well, my first year. And so I would think like, oh man, I didn't quite, but I didn't make it to diamond in 10 months or whatever it is. But at the same time, I do have a team of almost 700 people. You know what I mean? Like, it's still success. It's still lives being changed. It's still way more than I could have ever done without it. Being able to stay home with my babies and making, more than my husband does, who goes to work, throughout the week. So it's still, I feel like I love that chart because it just, for me, it set the standard. And so I don't know. It was really helpful. So I thank you. And then another thing is, just real quick, it helped me because I'm typically a quitter. Some of you have seen that passion video I sent, but it proved to me, like, I'm actually really thankful it didn't happen how I expected, because it proved to myself that I am committed and I'm not going to quit with this. So I feel like the whole journey has just been an awesome lesson, so I just love it. So I'm really thankful you shared your time. It was really, I think, a key for me.
You're welcome. It's just like if you were to have somebody told you there was gold buried in your backyard. I'm like, literally in your backyard. You need to just go out and find it. Would you just sit in your kitchen all day and stare at your backyard and be like, I wonder where it is? Oh, I'll look at it later. No, you'd be out there looking for it. You'd be out there digging for that gold. You'd be out figuring it out. So it may take you a while to find that gold, but it's worth it when you find it, right? So it may take you longer. You may know exactly where it is, and you may go right to it. But if you don't, you might have to look around a little bit. But I tell you what, when you find that gold and you realize, hey, you know what, my residual income is going to be willed down to my children. They're not going to have financial hardship like I did. That's huge, y'all. Huge. So I just encourage you, do not give up. Draw your line in the sand and say, I'm going to, even if I lost every single person on my team, I would turn around and rebuild. And I would be telling everybody at Dillard's, who makes $8 an hour, that there's a better way, you know? Figure it out. Every time I go to the mall, I give my card to at least 3 people.
Exactly.
You know, do you have that goal too? You don't go to the mall and not tell people about Plexus, y'all. They are making nothing. Okay. They would love to do something like what we're doing. They just don't know about it. So anyway, go find your gold.
Awesome. Definitely awesome. Yes, I feel like even if we can make a tenth of what a Diamond Ambassador makes in 10 years, it's still, even that is still more than what I could have been doing otherwise. So it's definitely worth it. Awesome. Alrighty. Well, anyone else have anything?
Okay, Laura asked if I have a power partner.
Oh.
And I do have a power partner, Rainey Anderson, used to be Rainey Spalding, if y'all seen her Diamond documentary. We met when we were both golds, and so we decided that we would help each other and get to Diamond, and we did. We were a month apart getting to Diamond. I hit it a month before she did, and we encouraged each other. We did meetings together. We are in each other's Diamond docs, and so anyway, I encourage you, if you don't have a power partner, and this is somebody I met at one of Celeste's meetings. We are sidelines. We do not, it does not affect, you know, I don't benefit from her. She doesn't benefit from me, but we encouraged each other the whole time, and we've developed a great friendship. So, so we did. We were competitive with each other, you know. Okay, what are your points? Okay, what are your points? You know. And we would go back and forth, and if one of it, we would tease each other about who had the most, but then if one was down, we'd like, oh, we got to get you up to where I am, you know. It was so fun. So anyway, I do encourage you, and I have I've had some challenge groups where I've put power partners together, and they have done great. So anyway, if you have one, that's the thing though, you've got to make sure that you're being encouraging and not negative. Nobody wants a negative power partner. You want to make sure that you're the positive one. If the other one's being negative, you need to tell them that they need to change. And if they're not going to change, you find a new power partner. So no negative Nellies.
Good. Very cool. That's why I love this whole group. We're all power partners.
There you go.
We got 6 different teams on this call. It's awesome.
Yeah, I know. When you were telling me about this, I was like, what?
I know.
So I think it's awesome.
Very cool.
You're
All right.
welcome, Miss Laura. Let's see the second page who all's on over here. I just wanted to say hi real quick. See who all do I recognize. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for coming. I really appreciate your time and all your wisdom. It was awesome. Thank you. So I recorded halfway through. We'll share that on the Hustlers page. And thank you, guys. Thank you so much for being on here. I appreciate it. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
I got on the last 10 minutes. I totally forgot about it.
Okay.